here? Here. Any conflicts to report? Item 4, approval of minutes of the meeting of June 9th, June 26th, and July 3rd, 2014.
And we never got a chance to issue, so.
Concur. Item A, change order number 1 submitted by First Group Engineering for the Kennedy Avenue, 175th Street to 169 project. We have a change order, change in amount of $2,369 will allow for the use of a concrete curb and gutter rather than the stand-up curb shown in the plan.
So I recommend that we approve the change order.
Motion, concur. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item B, bid recommendation received from DLZ Engineers for the Northcott Avenue Bridge over the Little Calumet River project. DLZ has reviewed the bids and indicates that the low bidder, Ellis Construction Company, Gary, Indiana, the bid was in the amount of $394,244. What's your pleasure?
I recommend that we award the bid to DLZ's recommendation.
Concur? All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item C, correspondence received from HAPS Inc. requesting the start date of approved work to be done on Homan Avenue for the Canadian National Railroad be changed to begin August 11, 2014 on Seoul Avenue and proceed to Homan Avenue on August 12, 2014.
Make a recommendation that we approve their change.
Concur? All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item D, correspondence received from Mr. Jonathan Parker, Engineering Department, requesting $55,000 from Councilman William Emerson to fund the 2014 sidewalk repair program for the 4th District.
The mayor and the councilman both signed off on it, so I recommend that we approve their request.
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item E, correspondence received from Precision Control Systems Incorporated for the replacement of an existing RTU at the Environmental Center, price not to exceed $22,345.
Make a motion that we approve the work to be done.
Concur? All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Item F, license agreement with CKNP Oil Company for groundwater sampling submitted by the Department of Environmental Management.
I believe Mr. Novak approved this, so I'll make a recommendation that we approve that also.
Concur? All those in favor? Ayes have it. Correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty approving a block party and submission of disposal authorization.
Make a recommendation that we approve Chief Doty's request.
Concur? All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item H, correspondence received from Attorney James E. Foster requesting a continuance of the hearing for property located at 4839 Elm
Mr. President?
Avenue.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Did he say why he needs a continuance? This case is pending from 2012. They've had continuance after continuance on that property. There's also another one that's going to be coming up, 4841 Elm, another case that they're going to be representing.
Going to be out of town. But he has another matter set for 9/11. He has to be in Evansville on the 11th.
Does he give a date that he wants it continued to?
September 11th.
Yeah, but
Yes.
wait a minute, he says, I trust you and I can reschedule the 9/11 hearing, so, I think he needs to get together with Attorney Kantar on this, and
Well, in response to his correspondence, may I ask that we set this over to September 18th then?
Make a recommendation, we move this to September 18th.
Thank you.
concur? All those in favor? Ayes have it. Rental registration hearing on property located at 7015 Monroe Avenue.
Hi, good morning.
Mr. Golder?
Yes, sir. I have some documentation here. I had tenants in there, their lease expired on the 28th day of February, 2014. I could not get them out. I've been to court 5 times. They finally moved out on April 30th. I was planning on selling the property. My wife and I talked about it, and we decided to try to rent it again, but by that time, obviously, the expiration date for the rental registration had passed. So I did find tenants. Their lease was signed for July 1st this year. And I'm looking to try to have that penalty waived.
How long have you owned this property?
I bought it in June 1st, 2012.
We have on no records that it's ever been registered.
Yes, I registered it last year.
That's right, yeah, 213. Registered once in 213.
Yes.
So,
that was
are you
mine.
saying that it was vacant?
I'm saying it was vacant from the time they moved out till July 1st, which was, I don't know, a little over 2 months.
Is that the lease that you had with them?
Yes, I have, this is the prior lease, and this is the current lease.
Is it correct? So you entered this lease in June?
I entered, yes, they paid a security deposit in June. That is
Did you
correct.
come in to try to register before?
Yes, I had spoke with Kelly. I had another, I'm sorry. I had another inspection done, per you, actually. And then you told me to come here and file a motion in front of the board.
So your claim is that it was vacant until you entered this? When did you had a tenant in January, February, March?
In January,
In April?
January, February, they were supposed to be out February 28th. We were battling in court, they would not leave. And yes, it took them, actually, they didn't move out till May 2nd.
So I guess my question is, why didn't you register before April 15th if you had tenants in the property?
It was such a hassle that this was my first time doing it, and we,
You registered at 213, so you knew the situation was such that you needed to register.
I did. These tenants were terrible, and
I understand the tenant situation, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to register because you have bad tenants.
we were considering selling the property.
At the same time, you had tenants in from January to April 15th at the time that you should have registered. You
Okay.
did nearly 4 months to register the property. You understood that you had to register in 2013. You also should have registered in 2014 regardless of the situation of the tenants.
I guess that is a correct way to look at it, yes.
Kelly, I understand what you're saying.
Right.
But and I'm not gonna guess for him, but he was trying to get him out, right? You said you were trying to get him
Yeah,
out?
I was in court
You were in court?
4 or 5 times with Judge Villapando, yes.
How many units is it, sir? Just one?
Just one.
And you bought it in 12?
2012, yeah, it took me a year to rent
Kelly,
it.
you said he registered it in 13?
You registered 2013, correct?
Make a motion that we waive the late fee, but the unit must be $80. Registered at $80.
Concur, April 15th every year, sir.
I'm sorry. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Item J, rental registration hearing on property located at 4343 Grover Avenue.
Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, sir.
You didn't register it this year, what happened?
No, because I rented out in May, and I didn't even, that was my first time renting out a place. I didn't even know about it.
Did you, in May was the first time you ever rented the place?
Yeah, yes.
How long have you owned it?
How long that owned it since 90?
So you were living there,
Yeah, I was living there, yeah.
and you moved out when?
I moved out in March.
And when did you rent it?
in May.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have that has never been registered. That would explain why it wasn't registered.
Make a motion that we waive the late fee, but the unit must be registered at $80.
Concur. $80, sir.
Okay,
You can pay after the meeting, or you get a notice in the mail,
okay.
okay?
Thanks a lot.
Item K, rental registration hearing on property located at 6139 Harrison.
Hello.
You didn't register the property this year, man?
You know, I wasn't aware that they don't mail. I paid last year. They've been mailing it to me because I live in Illinois. I have no problem paying it, but I didn't get it through the mail.
Well,
And I came up here myself to ask them why, and then they told me that it was over with, that you just have to come and pay it now. They don't send it through the mail no more.
Well, it's just like paying your taxes every April 15th. How long have you owned the property?
I don't know, maybe about 4 years.
4 or 40?
No, about 4.
No, I didn't.
That's cool.
No, but they've been sending it to me. I live in Illinois,
I understand that.
but they've been mailing it to me. But I didn't get one this
We
year.
won't send it to you unless you call and request it be sent to you. We don't
Is
send
that why I got it
We don't
last
send
year?
registration forms to every landlord. It'd be impossible to do.
But you used to, didn't you?
And we also put it online. No, if you call and request that it be mailed to you, we can do that.
Oh, well, I got
Why
one
did you do
last
that?
year.
Well, you had to call and ask for it.
Is that a one-time request, Kelly, and then it'll be done all the time, or every year they got to do that?
Pardon me?
If they call you right now and say, we want you to mail us something, you guys do it every year, or they have to call every
They
year?
would have to call every year and request it. I mean, we're
You
going
would have
to,
to?
it's also online. You can print it offline, fill it out, send it in, and, you know, we don't know who does it.
Not everyone is, got a computer or is computer
Understood.
savvy. And
Is it a single-family home, ma'am, or is it a duplex?
It's a single family home.
I'll make a recommendation that we waive the late fee, but the unit must be registered at the $80.
What's the history on this, Kelly?
So now,
That's, all I have that was registered in 2013.
yeah, I register every year.
Thank you, ma'am.
So you saying every year I got a call?
All those
If
in
I-
You
favor?
have April 15th to register, you call and ask them to mail it to you, they'll mail it to you, or you can come down, fill it out, however you want to do it. Just need to know before April 15th.
Correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings be scheduled. Item L.
Recommend that we move these to September 18th.
Concur. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item M, specific finding of fact and decision on property located at 63, excuse me. Specific finding of fact and decision on property located at 6834 Huron Avenue and 4234 Toll Avenue.
Recommendation that we approve.
Concur. All those in favor? Ayes have it.
Mail it to you.
Item N, agreement to rehab property located at 3842 177th Street and 840 Becker Street, submitted for approval.
Make a recommendation that we approve this.
Concur. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item O, correspondence received from the school city of Hammond requesting curb painting at Edison School and a stop sign at the intersection of 116th Street and Amy Avenue.
I'll make a recommendation that we send this over to Public Works, Mr. Gleason.
Concur. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item P, correspondence received from Hammond Parks and Recreation requesting approval to hold the 2014 Hammond Holiday Parade Saturday, December 6, 2014.
I recommend that we move, probably should send this to the Police Department, the Fire Department, and Public Works.
Concur.
Approval.
All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item Q, correspondence received from 3rd District Councilman Anthony W. Higgs requesting ornamental lighting on Monroe Avenue from 165th Street to Conkey Street.
Recommend that we send this over to engineering.
Concur. All those in favor? Ayes have it. Item R, correspondence received from AT&T requesting permission to perform work at Michigan Street and Kennedy Avenue.
Mr. Gordich. The AT&T work, you got anything?
I haven't seen that request, but if you turn around and send it down, I'll preliminarily approve it. I'll take a look at it.
Recommend that we
This
send it to
afternoon.
the mayor.
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item S, correspondence received from Downtown Hammond Council President, Ms. Karen M. Maravilla, requesting Homan Avenue remain open during the Polish pilgrimage scheduled for Saturday, August 9th, 2014.
Unfortunately, we already approved to close Holman Avenue. And I know this is fairly well attended. It's pretty good walking down the street, so I'm gonna have to, deny her request at this time.
Concur? All those in favor? Ayes have it. Order to rescind, order to demolish property located at 2841 Cleveland Street, submitted for approval.
Recommend that we approve that.
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item U, sales disclosure form for property located at 601 to 625 Conky Street.
Recommend that we approve this also.
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item V, correspondence received from North Lake Pop Warner requesting permission for on-street parking in the northbound lane of Grover Avenue along the west border of Pulaski Park from August 1st, 2014 through mid-November of 2014.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Is that parking lot that they just redid that park, it's not big enough?
It's not, we have 150 participants, and that parking lot does not provide enough parking. In the past, I simply made a call to Chief Miller, and I assume he'd send it through the Board of Works and would give us permission. This year when I called Chief Doty, although Doty said it was fine, I was told that I should go ahead and come to the Board of Works to get approval for that. I did actually speak to Chief Doty at Festival of the Lakes. He said, no problem, Michelle, give me a call a day or two before. When I called a day or two before and I spoke with the secretary, she says, you probably need to go to Vicari, Sergeant Vicari. When I spoke with him, he said this was the procedure to come to the Board of Works.
I recommend that we send it back to Chief Doty.
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Thank you, ma'am.
Should I just contact him? Or will he?
Well, they probably have your
Yeah,
information, so
probably gonna
hopefully they'll
contact
contact you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to recognize Councilman Emerson, who's with us this morning. Janet? Sorry, you were hiding behind, I didn't see you. Good morning, Councilman Vines. Item W, garage sale permit scheduled for approval.
Recommend that we approve all of them.
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Item 6, matters from board members.
I have two. Someone would like to have a block party in the alley from the 500 block of 173rd Street. Section alley will be looking, doesn't block have anyone who doesn't live. They can. Recommend that we send this over to Chief Doty.
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it.
The Whiting Lions Club would like to have, is this 119th Street or Atchison?
Atchison,
And just from 119th to the alley, right, or is it the whole?
correct.
I'll make a recommendation that we send this to Chief Doty also.
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
That'd be it. Item 7, matters from other department heads or their representatives.
I'd like to set up final hearing for the property at 6609 Jefferson.
Do you have a date?
With Mr. Kravansky, I think.
Do you know the date you want, Jim?
All right,
Which day do you want?
whatever's available. I don't want two of them one day if we can.
September 18th? September 18th, okay?
Concur, all those in favor? Ayes have it. September 18th, Jim. Any other department head or rep? Item 8, new business. Item 9, old business. The meeting is now open to the public.
Mr. President, Attorney Jonathan Peterson.
Good morning.
We had a matter for 526 Locust. It was continued until this date at 9 o'clock, and I've got a copy of the order if the board needs to see that. We're prepared to proceed on this. It's a notice of violation. May I approach?
You know anything about it, Kelly? That property?
We don't have it in our notes, it's not on the agenda as far as what continuance. If they ask for a continuance, we never get received the date when it's going to be.
As for continuance, and it's been signed at least by me, I see.
What's the address, sir?
526 Willows. Inspector's been down on the file. See if we're ready to proceed and exactly what the status is. Understand this is not the only property that we have. Familiarize ourselves with the case.
Mr. President, on this particular matter, I recognize this is a formal board, but shouldn't the city be appearing by counsel? They're going to litigate this? If they don't have counsel here, I'm going to move to dismiss this notice of violation.
We don't have counsel, so
The city doesn't have a voice here. There is no attorney representing the city. I don't see how the city can make any type of motion. They need an attorney here. If they don't have an attorney, it's properly noticed. I move to dismiss this notice of violation.
I move for a continuance to.
The city can't make any type of a motion. Mr. Kelly's not an attorney.
This is in a court of law, as you just pointed out. I can make a request if I
It's
so choose.
it's an administrative agency in the state of Indiana, and you have to be an attorney to appear before an agency.
City's corporate counsel had another issue she had to deal with this morning in Crown Point, so
Make a recommendation. We continue this until the 18th. Date.
14.
To August 14th.
Thank you.
One moment.
Favor? All those in favor? Ayes have it. Anyone else in the public? Yes, sir.
I was told to come to this meeting to find out who's the compliance officer for all the PLA projects that's going on. I was informed that the contractors were their own compliance officers for the residency, that's the 25% residency for Hammond. And that the contractors were their own compliance officers. And I was trying to find out who is the compliance officer over these projects and how and who records and keeps the records that these contractors are in compliance. Because I'm a Hammond resident and there's a lot of jobs that have been going on, and I'm a union carpenter. And each job that I've gone to, I've seen none of the people that I've talked to from these jobs are from Hammond. I've talked to them, they're from Wisconsin, they're from Ohio, some are from Colorado, but to find that these projects are being paid by the taxpayers of Hammond, and to not have anyone on these jobs that are from Hammond, I was trying to find out who was the compliance officer.
Can you name a specific job, sir?
The first job was the one down here at the sanitation department.
The big $77 million job?
The sanitation department, that one across on
Columbia?
Columbia, yes, on the east side of the street. The new Walmart that's going up.
Okay.
The BW3s that they're getting ready to build back here off of Kennedy. The potash job. I have no way of, I've talked to, when I first started, when the ordinance had passed, I had talked to the city attorney, and she told me that it was the city engineer. City engineer told me, no, that's not his job. Talked to the building inspector. He told me that's not his job. So who is the one that's supposed to make sure that these contractors stay in compliance? And then the last person that I talked to was Courtney. She said that she was told that each contractor keeps their own compliance. Well, if the contractors keep their own compliance, there's no one from the city that regulates that these people are actually being in compliance. There's no way,
Jim?
That's, compliance with the PLA is normally my responsibility. And I have a great relationship with the building trades. And I've been there many times, spoke to them about this topic, about Hammond residents when available, and they've been very cooperative. As far as these jobs, I'm not sure. There are different entities in the city. There's a water department, there's sanitation, and there's Port Authority. They have their own board. So if there's a PLA on a project, we might not even be aware of it, okay? We just had a situation where the contractor had no Hammond employees, and our department became involved. Randy Palmetier gave me a call. He finally went to the building trade, signed the pre-job, and he's going to have Hammond residents on the job. We do everything we can when we know there's a PLA. If sanitary district has a project out, there's a PLA, and they don't notify us, we have no idea that there's a PLA on that job. But I would think that the trades, with the relationship we have, they would hire or put Hammond employees on this job. They've been very good about that. And this started with a boat project many years ago. And if there's a problem on the job, it's usually Randy Palmetier that'll call me.
Okay, your name is again?
Pardon me?
And what is your name again?
Yeah, Jim Callahan.
Okay,
Give him
so
the card.
you're actually the compliance officer between each contractor?
We are compliant. My responsibility is to make sure the contractor is complying with the terms of the PLA.
And what all jobs that are paid for by the city that requires the 25% that besides the PLAs?
They changed the ordinance. I don't know what the dollar amount is right now. But there's a dollar amount. Once it reaches a certain dollar amount, they're required to sign a PLA.
Okay. Okay.
If you have any questions, you can call me.
Okay.
Do you know Ray Kazmark?
No.
You know Randy Palmetier?
No.
What local are you out of?
599.
You're Dan Brown then?
Yes, I am.
You know Dan Brown?
Yes. No, Dan Brown.
Talk to him, ask him, he'll tell you.
Well, Dan Brown is retired.
I know he is, but you have a
Okay.
new guy. But
599 is Carpenters?
Yes, right here, Carpenter's local, right here. Yes.
if you have any questions, just contact me.
Okay. Tom Dorsey is now the new BA he's taking over Dan Brown's job.
I have a great relationship with all the trades.
Okay. Well, all right, thank you.
I mean, what you need to understand is if, say you're in the hall, or say you're on a job, and you're out of BP Amico for 3 years, you're not going to leave the BP Amico job and go work on a job for 6 months, are you?
Are you kidding?
Well, I've worked on Columbia Bridge when I left a job to work on that bridge here on Columbia with oh my goodness, it's been so long ago. The name of the construction.
Bowen?
Bowen.
I understand.
Dyer?
No, they were Kankakee Construction. They did the bridge right here on Columbia. I left a job to do that because by me being a Hammond resident, there are projects that I would like to be able to say, hey, I worked on these.
Okay.
So yes, I will leave a job to come work on one that may be 6 months because of the fact that I am a resident and the probability of me getting back into BP is always
Okay. If you have a problem, don't hesitate to call me.
okay.
All right?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
No other
Anyone else from the public?
recommendation to adjourn.
Concur? All in favor?